So I thought I'd record a video about my crash from last Friday at Yas Marina South Circuit, which happened on the last lap of the third session. I actually created a video showing that exact same corner from every single lap of that third session, and I'm gonna talk you through the lines I took, and you can see that I had almost the exact same line every single time I took that corner. But I'm going to go through what I did differently on the last lap, if I did anything differently, and which could have been the reason for my crash. Now, after speaking to my coach and speaking to a few other professional riders, I got to really understand what caused the crash, and I will talk about that big mistake, or the mistake that is the biggest and that caused the crash, in a minute as I go through the video. But ultimately, the main reason for the crash is something that has to do not with my lines, but rather with my braking marker, how hard I was braking, and how fast I was going into the corner. So let's go through that video and we'll talk about it. Right, so you can see here that I was close to the apex on this turn. Again, that's the second lap. I'm close to the apex. On the third turn, again, I'm hitting the same apex. What you're noticing though is that I am on the throttle before I hit the apex. So I'm braking too hard earlier and I'm having to throttle on at the apex. Now, look what happens on this turn. I throttle on and then I lose the rear. So what was happening really here is that what you saw happen, and I'm going to repeat that video sequence in a second. What you saw happen is that I was braking too early. I get to the apex, I feel that I'm too slow even before I get to the apex, so I start rolling on the throttle while still at full lean. Now, I got away with it in the first couple of sessions and the first few laps of this session because it was a bit cooler in the day. By the time I got to the end of the third session, one, I was tired. Two, the tire, this was the fourth track day on these Dunlop 212s. So the rear tire, I felt it during that third session. Almost every time I was aggressive on the exit, it would start to hop. It would start to slide. I started feeling it spinning a bit on some of the exits. But on this particular case, because I was at full lean, because I started rolling on the throttle too early while still at full lean, because I was braking too hard or too early before that corner, I basically lost the rear. Now, how could I avoid this next time around? Well, I can avoid it by carrying more speed into the corner. As my coach was saying, I would have carried more centrifugal force into that corner. And by carrying more speed into the corner, I would only have to start rolling on the throttle after the apex when I start picking the bike up, and not start rolling on the throttle while still at full lean and not having completed that corner. Now, could I have gotten away with it with the tire not being so worn out? Possibly, yeah. But ultimately, what caused the crash was my mistake, slowing too much. Now, why did I slow too much on that particular corner? It happened with a couple of corners on this track, but on this particular corner, there's an easy right followed by this hard left. And I think what's happening is I'm braking too much, not on that corner, but on the previous corner, so I'm not carrying enough speed going into this corner. So next time around, what I'm planning to do is carry more speed into the easy right, trail the brakes, and carry more speed into that left-hander coming onto the start-finish straight. So let's hope that works out.